Okay, this is a short little video on the garden. Uh, the experiment I did with the bell peppers, the one that grew in the dirt with the self-watering, grew much better than the one I had in hydroponic. But I've already torn everything out. I was delayed because of construction. As you know, I'm building a pallet shed, so my experiments kind of went on hold. But look at my artichokes, are still growing like crazy. Got carrots growing still. This is a cold weather crop you can plant right now. You can plant beans too, but somebody's destroying my beans, so I'm pretty much give up on that. If anybody can tell me what this is, this flower, here's the leaves. It's a really beautiful flower. It just popped up in my garden in the late summer, and I just cut it down. And my tomatoes are still growing, but they're done. I'm not going to get anything else from these. They're splitting open, and there's nothing I can do about it. But right now I'm just doing basic cleanup, getting everything ready for the spring. If anybody knows what I can plant right now for winter crop, right now I got some Swiss chard growing. Apparently it seems to grow in this cold weather, has no problem. And right here I got some beets coming up. Some seeds went to the ground and they're just coming up. I still got beets in the ground here. These guys will winter well in this climate, you know, Washington, Oregon State. So they do fine. And I am now, this was my potato bin. I'm trying to figure out a way to reuse this because it's hard to set it up. Because you're not supposed to plant potatoes in the same place twice. I think corn and tomatoes are the same way. So I've been planting the corn in the same spot for years, but I give it a break every other year. So I gotta make a new bed for the corn. I might give it a try using the rain gutter self-watering for the corn. That's gonna be a new experiment. So here's one of the peppers that I decided to give up on. Put it there, might grow. But this Tabasco pepper gave me a lot of peppers. So I might, grow that one hydroponically, but the bell peppers didn't do well in hydroponic, and neither did the ghost peppers. So the ghost peppers will also go in the rain gutter system. Right now I have another piece of rain gutter right here. This is the one I prefer. I would recommend if you guys want to try the rain gutter system. This is a U-channel rain gutter. I could not find it at Home Depot, but I did find it at Lowe's. And my pallets are gone pretty much. I got one more left. But the construction is going pretty good for the shed. If you check out my other videos, you'll see that. But I still got some leveling to do here. I'm going to put some retaining wall blocks along the side of the fence. That way I don't have to take the fence down. And people won't even have an idea that I've got a flat surface. You guys will know. I just took the cucumbers down off of here. They were I was growing them upside down. They did quite well for the short season they had. I didn't start the experiment until September. And I got quite a few cucumbers out of it. And I mixed up a brine mix and put them in it, but they got a little soft, got a little mushy. So I got to figure out some other way to do it. But my garden is not looking too good right now. You know, a lot of stuff I need to clean out, and I've been removing all the poles that I had for the peas. Still have a tomato growing right there. That's a self-watering pot. I would recommend self-watering pots because people forget to water their tomatoes. And a self-watering pot will not overwater the tomato. That's why I prefer to use that. So next year, my hydroponic tomatoes, by the way, did not do well. When the summer is really hot like it was this year, we didn't get a whole lot of rain. We got a lot of sun. So I decided to I grew most of my tomatoes hydroponic, and they did not do well. They had a hard time with the heat, but grew this one right here with a self-watering system. It did pretty good, and these guys did very good. These are wild. All I did was just water the soil around them every once in a while. I varied my watering so it doesn't get heavy in one spot and not heavy in another. Oh, there's a tomato. Right now, it's a good idea. We don't have our frost yet, so it's a good idea to pick the green ones that are kind of big. This one's a little split, as you can see, but it's still usable. I can use it in a salsa when it ripens. Believe it or not, these will ripen in the house. I had tomatoes last year almost into spring that I pulled from the previous year. And I pulled them just before the frost. But the frost did not come as quickly this year. We got a pineapple, what they call a pineapple express, which is giving us warmer weather. I'm outside in a t-shirt. See? T-shirt. In November. So yeah, it's kind of warm. I am not at all cold. Well, let's see if I can get the experiments going again next year, because the shed has been taking priority. I will do the potatoes in here again. I'm going to add some amendments to the soil and build up the soil again. I already have some potatoes to throw in there. I don't like to throw away potatoes from the store that go bad. I just throw them in the garden. And they grew for me for years. They didn't do as well as the seed potatoes, but they did pretty good. I get maybe 2-3 pounds out of one bad potato. That's not too bad, I don't think. But the seed potatoes gave me a little bit more, but the cost wasn't beneficial. So I got to try to do something different. These didn't, because of the heat. I can blame a lot of stuff on the heat, because my potatoes died off really quickly early this year because of the heat. It killed a lot of my plants, but I'm going to record what plants did well in the heat, and that way I know what will do well in the heat, what won't. And if anybody can tell me, give me some pointers on that, that would help in the next year. I recommend, if you're going to plant potatoes, put peas in first, because the peas love the cooler weather. potatoes don't really care, but they just like to have water. Not too much, because they will rot, but they do like to have some water. Quite a bit of water. They're like tomatoes. They need water. And if you're going to grow potatoes on a regular basis, I recommend seeing the movie Faith Like Potatoes. That will help. A guy in South Africa grew potatoes. And so he had this, I don't know, vision, I guess, that he needed to grow potatoes. And he did it, and the storyline is the faith that he showed gave him success in his potato crop. Now, some could say that was just luck, but watch the movie and make your own conclusion. That's what I say. Well, that's it for the video right now. I will show a little short video of the garden after I've cleaned it up. This year I'm cleaning it up. I didn't do it in past years, and I had to clean up in the spring, which kind of delayed planting. But I'm trying to find out crops that I can put in right now to help the soil. And I know beans will add lots of nitrogen to the soil, which all the plants seem to need. Corn needs nitrogen. Potatoes need nitrogen. Tomatoes, all the nightshades, they need nitrogen and calcium, but don't need the calcium right off the bat. Nitrogen, yes. Well, that's what I know for now. What I can think of anyway. Otherwise, I'll just keep rattling on. So, and the onions are still growing. These are going to be seed onions again next year. When they're done seeding, I'm going to pull them and toss them. Go in the compost. This will be the third year for these tomatoes. They've grown here for 2 years. And I might get some edible onions out of this. I did. I got quite a few of them out of theirs that we used, but we still had to buy from the store. And I'm not exactly sure what kind of onions these are. I was positive these were supposed to be green onions, but they're so huge. And those too, but those look like green onions. So I'm thinking that's green onions, and this is Walla Wallas, which is odd because those are Walla Wallas. They look so different. I think they were leftover onions, just regular yellow onions from the store. Well, I got a lot of cleaning to do, and I'll try to show you guys later how the garden looks, getting it ready for winter. And I got a source for lots of leaves already. I put a message out on Nextdoor app for leaves, and I got people wanting to give me oak leaves and maple leaves, so I'm going to get lots of leaves this year. So this soil is going to be pretty good. I'm going to put a whole bunch of leaves in here, all the way up to that board right there. Oops, down there. All the way up to that. I got to dig all this crap in and then pile a bunch of leaves in there. It'll help those too. I'll let the beets stay in there. And look, these Swiss chard. These beets, they taste the same. Look, these look like Swiss chard. They're beets. So you can eat beet leaves. It's just like Swiss chard. This one's still usable. Yeah, a lot of this Swiss chard is still usable. But I really need to dig this one in. I left it pretty much alone this year. And look, broccoli from last year. I got new heads starting. I didn't have anything most of the summer. The size of that guy. there's my hand. So I still got broccoli to eat. That's enough for one person. But, you know, it's something. I'm learning more and more every day with this garden. Raised bed is different. I've been having some critters digging in here. They destroyed my beans. Oh, I gotta show you guys something. You ever heard of Queen Anne's lace? I think in a previous video I showed that I'm doing a little experiment with Queen Anne's lace. This is Queen Anne's lace. Doesn't that look like carrots? Looks just like carrots, doesn't it? Well, turns out Queen Anne's lace is a wild carrot. It's not as orange as a regular carrot, but it is a carrot. And the ones I've tried picking wild didn't have a whole lot of flavor. So I decided to try and plant some and see if that works. I'm slowly thinning that out. I can only have maybe 4 or 5 carrots in there. Maybe 9. We'll see. It's loose soil, so the carrots should be able to grow pretty big. Well, that's it for now. Have a great fall, and hopefully I learned quite a bit more. Goodbye.